How long has it been here, Celeste? You need to get over your shit, soldier.
I like it here.
What the hell was that, bro? What can I be given that I can be watching?
Euro.
Euro. Mm-mm-mm.
The Three Kingdoms period is generals to The Three Kingdoms period is probably the most exciting out of all of China's ages of division, when the country was split into rival states. Whether you've played the Dynasty Warriors video games, watched the Red Cliff movies, or the TV shows. Was that even the right clip? Anyway, all of these come from the story of that time, which is romanticized in the book Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Yi, one of China's four classic novels. Many of the things in the book are supposed to have happened, such as Zhao Yun's daring rescue of Liu Bei's son, which is also talked about in historical records. Other things are more romanticized, but still may have happened, like Zhuge Liang stealing 100,000 arrows using straw soldiers on boats to collect the enemy's ammo. There's no historical record of Zhuge Liang actually doing this, but there is a record of other figures during the same. So who knows who really came up with it? Maybe it was Zhuge Liang. The period is also famous for many of the characters who came out of that time and were then further fictionalized in the classic novel. You have the five tiger generals, Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, Ma Chao,
曹贼，你只会成口舌之力，天与我决斗吧！
Huang Zhong, and Zhao Yun, who we've already talked about. Then you have Zhuge Liang, who is celebrated as an incredible strategist and inventor, and you also have Cao Cao, Liu Bei, and Sun Quan, who were the warlords that kicked off the whole Three Kingdoms period and established the initial boundaries of the three states. But what is real and what is fiction? Well, today we are going to go through the whole history of the Three Kingdoms period and show you what actually happened. This is the entire Three Kingdoms period in one video. So the Three Kingdoms period officially starts in 220 AD, when the last Han Dynasty emperor abdicated and the Han officially came to an end. But the Battle of the Red Cliffs, or T.B.E, one of the most famous battles of the period, was actually in 208 AD, 12 years before this time. So actually the lead up to the Three Kingdoms period is really where a lot of the significant action happened. So let's rewind and start from an earlier time. The Han Dynasty from 202 BC to 220 AD is known as China's first golden age. The main golden age being the Tang Dynasty, but the Han is a close second as a period of high culture. But in China, when a dynasty starts losing what the Chinese call the mandate of heaven, or Tianming, things really start to unravel. In the 2nd century AD, the final century of the Han Dynasty, you had several emperors in succession who rose to the throne very young. This caused infighting as family members had to hold power for them and weren't keen on giving it up totally once the emperor came of age. So emperors would turn to the palace eunuchs to help them contend with the family members, and the eunuchs became more and more powerful, and seeing the eunuchs usurping the emperor's power, some local rulers decided to seize more power for themselves too. At this time, the Han also suffered from swarms of locusts and floods, and a shrinking tax base meant that the government could not issue as much aid to the people when crops were damaged. Basically, everything was a mess, and the people were restless. Then in 184 AD, it all came to a head when a Taoist sect called Taiping Dao, or the Supreme Way of Peace, staged a violent rebellion. Yeah, I know, it's kind of ironic. The Supreme Way of Peace, yet they were the ones fighting the government. Anyway, this was known as the Yellow Turban Rebellion, or Huangjin Zhiluan, because their 350,000 or so followers wore yellow turbans. It started in Shandong province and spread across China, all the way to Luoyang, the capital. And the Yellow Turban Rebellion is where the book Romance of the Three Kingdoms starts, because it is the Yellow Turban Rebellion that really accelerated the Han Dynasty's decline. You see, after the Yellow Turbans were defeated, they were not all rounded up and executed. Many of them actually escaped and went on to become roaming groups of bandits, causing trouble across the countryside. This led to the emperor to give more power to regional governors and generals to deal with the rebels. And that then later led to those he had given power to actually to start vying for the throne themselves. General Dong Zhuo was one such person. After fighting the Yellow Turbans, he was called back to the capital to eliminate a powerful faction of eunuchs called the 10 Attendants. China loves to group people together in 5s and 10s, right? Like the 4 beauties, the 5 tiger generals, the 10 tigers of Guangdong.
10 tigers of Guangdong in a ferocious and spectacular battle against Manchu mercenaries.
And the 10 Attendants, although they probably weren't as cool as the 10 tigers of Guangdong. Anyway, these 10 eunuchs kidnapped the emperor and left Luoyang, but they were intercepted by Dong Zhuo, who brought the emperor back to the capital, took over command of the forces there, and convinced General Lu Bu to join him. He then removed the sitting emperor and replaced him with Emperor Xian, who would be the last emperor of the Han Dynasty, but was really just a puppet of Dong Zhuo. Other warlords then rose up to resist Dong Zhuo, and he retreated to Chang'an and later fell out with Lu Bu over Diao Chan, one of China's 4 great beauties, and Lu Bu then killed Dong Zhuo. In historical records, it's not so clear how Diao Chan was involved, or if it was just Minister Wang Yun who convinced Lu Bu to kill Dong Zhuo without Diao Chan being involved at all. But in Romance of the Three Kingdoms, it is an actual organized plan, where the official Wang Yun presents Diao Chan to Dong Zhuo as a concubine, but at the same time betroths her to Lu Bu to get the two to fight, and that ends badly for Dong Zhuo. And of course, Dynasty Warriors makes Diao Chan into an assassin. Well, not a very successful one, but she tries. When Dong Zhuo dies in the year 192 AD, China basically looks like this, controlled by warlords. Remember, the emperor was basically a puppet for Dong Zhuo anyway, so when Dong Zhuo retreated to Chang'an, everyone was basically just governing their own areas. But you do see a familiar name on this map, and that is Cao Cao. So emerging out of these boundaries of different warlords, Cao Cao went on to control basically the whole of the north of China, and also control the puppet emperor who had been put there by Dong Zhuo, Liu Bei, who was a distant relative of the Han imperial family set up in the west, and he was set on restoring the Han Dynasty. Then you had Sun Quan in the southeast of China, who had inherited the state set up by his brother Sun Ce after his brother's death. There were still a few other rival warlords around at this time, but it was working towards just 3 states remaining by the year 220. So from the year 200 AD to 220 was a really exciting time with many battles fought. I'm going to simplify it massively to get it all into this video, but here goes. So in the year 200 AD, Liu Bei was originally working for Cao Cao. Remember, Cao Cao had the puppet Han emperor and
what was left of the Han imperial court under his control. But Liu Bei wanted to break out of Cao Cao's control, so he requested to lead an army against a rival warlord, Yuan Shu, and Cao Cao accepted. But then after that battle was won, he went to Xu province and killed the governor that had been appointed by Cao Cao and left Guan Yu, one of the 5 tiger generals there, to guard the province. This is recorded in the Sanguo Zhi, which is a historical account of what happened. Cao Cao then personally led an army to Xu province to attack Liu Bei, and Liu Bei's forces were defeated. He retreated to Jing province, or Jingzhou, that covers modern-day Hubei and Hunan, and sought refuge with Liu Biao, another warlord. Now, Jing province was a place where many literati and scholars had fled to avoid the conflict that was going on elsewhere in China. One such scholar was Zhuge Liang. Liu Bei had heard about him and went to meet him. And Zhuge Liang presents Liu Bei with the Longzhong plan that outlines how he can take over all of China. So he employs Zhuge Liang, who leaves his home in the mountains, to join Liu Bei. The two get on very well. It's recorded in the classic texts. It was good. Liu and Zhuge Liang's bond grew closer day by day, naturally like a fish that finds its way back to water. Now around this time, Liu Biao is sick and close to death, and he actually wanted Liu Bei to succeed him. Liu Biao's illness was critical. He wanted to leave his kingdom to Liu Bei. He said, "My sons are not talented, and my generals and lords are scattered. After I die, you take over Jing province." Now, Liu Bei refused, but when Liu Biao did die in 208 AD, one of his sons succeeded him, and the son then went on and surrendered to Cao Cao without telling Liu Bei. Liu Bei then moved south with many warriors and citizens from Jing province joining him. At this time, Zhuge Liang had a suggestion. Zhuge Liang said that Liu Bei should attack Liu Cong, Liu Biao's brother, and that he could take Jing province. But Liu Bei said, "I cannot bear to do it," because it was the son of Liu Biao who had taken him in after he escaped. So he marched south, but since civilians were with him, progress was slow. Cao Cao eventually caught up with Liu Bei and defeated his army at the Battle of Changban, or Changban. Liu Bei escaped with a small number of men, leaving his family behind. This is where we get the story of Zhao Yun heroically saving Liu Bei's son from behind enemy lines. And in fact, 3 of Liu Bei's 5 tiger generals were involved in that battle: Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, and of course Zhao Yun. Guan Yu marched ahead, but after Liu Bei was intercepted by Cao Cao, they met up with Guan Yu and escaped to Xiakou, where they regrouped. And it is at this time that Zhuge Liang urges Liu Bei to take action and form an alliance with Sun Quan, which is part of his Longzhong plan that he'd already presented. Zhuge Liang says, "Matters are very serious. Please give me orders to request assistance from Sun Quan's generals." Now this alliance did form, and the combined forces of Liu Bei and Sun Quan fought off Cao Cao in a naval battle on the Yangtze River, called the Battle of the Red Cliff, or T.B.E. Zhizhan. This is where, in Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Zhuge Liang gives the order to steal 100,000 arrows before the battle starts, which gives us the Chinese idiom 草船借箭, or borrowing the arrows with straw boats, which means
I celebrate me.
Dropped a like. Face green smiling, face green smiling, face green smiling. Face fuchsia white eyes, face fuchsia white eyes purple crying, face red heart shape.
We live. Drop a lie. Drop a lie. We live. Drop a lie. We live. Drop a lie. Yeah, Angel, I'm still drunk from yesterday, man. I was so beat, yo. Thank you, Angel, man. You're the best ever. Oh man, use the bathroom, man. I'm dehydrated. I'm dehydrated. I gotta get fucking water. I hate when I'm dehydrated, man. We live. I drop a live. Make sure you drop the live. I'm live. Drop the live. Cause we live. Drop the live. My man Angel, man. Thank you, Angel. My brother. That's my real brother. Drop the live. It's my mop at, yo. Cause we live. We live. So drop that line. So drop a line. We live. Yo, Andrew, you like DJ Khaled. I'm fast. Look how skinny I am, bro. I'm tell you that when I go to the street. He remind me of DJ Khaled. We live. So drop the line. Oh shit. I thought I was gonna eat that shit, but it's good. I got my sandwich on the floor. I ain't gonna open no beer. That's the only beer I had. To take some pulls, just get in this game. Let's have some fun. I don't know how to play it. Oh, it's too cold. Man, that shit's fucking freezing, bro. I just turn on the air conditioner. It shit turns like it's. You know what I'm saying? Usually I got like cheap. I gotta clean my air conditioner. Look, it's dusty. Hell yeah. It's fucking freezing. I haven't cleaned my refrigerator. I mean, my refrigerator. Air conditioner is so long. Let's do this. We live. We live. We live. So drop nine. Snipes.
We live, so drop like thumbs up.
Sniper. It's my family right here.
Sniper.
It's my family. Shout out to my family. Hey. Okay. I was listening to this. I like this.
Fighting style of China has a
Let's get in
long
here.
and rich history with many legends passed down through the generations. And in certain martial arts circles, especially in the South, there is no legend so well known as the
Oh
T.B.E.
shit.
Shaolin
What
Temple
the
and the
fuck?
escape of the five emperors.
No.
It's basically the founding story of all southern
No.
styles of kung fu, including Wing Chun,
Good. Let me say something.
Kung Lao, and Choi Lei
Oh,
Foo.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you have that one.
And the idea of a group of five elite kung fu masters that
There's a
goes on
fucking camera
missions
here.
together way into the
Oh, these motherfuckers hiding in the corner. What up, yo? It's nice to see you, babe.
Do they really exist? Was
I
the
don't like
Shaolin
smoking in front of
Temple
people.
really burned down? You're gonna find out in this video. This is Great Kung Fu Masters from Chinese History Part 3, The Five Elders of Shaolin. So at the end of the Ming Dynasty in 1644, the Manchus took over China. They were a people from the northeast who were not ethnically Chinese. They had their own language and culture, yet they established the Qing Dynasty in China. Many Chinese people resisted being ruled by
Let's do
foreigners
Lisa.
and still had the idea of restoring the Ming. This was called Fan Qing Fu Ming, or oppose the Qing, restore the Ming. Those who had fought against the Ming forces, or those plotting a rebellion, hid in temples disguised as monks to avoid capture. Thus, in 1647, the Qing army targeted the Shaolin Temple and burned
What you
it
gotta
down.
be doing,
The
Papa?
five monks, or actually four monks and one nun, who
We
escaped.
live.
These five became the five elders
Sleep
of
mode. I
Shaolin,
gotta take the
or
sleep
Shaolin.
mode. Voice chat
Now,
is
I just
pause
want
and
to
will resume
pause
when you
there
start
for a
playing
moment
again.
and say that this is
You
one
can
version
kind of
of the
flag
story.
sleep
Some
mode in
versions
settings
say it
under the
happened in
game tab.
1674, some in 1732, some say it was a southern Shaolin temple in Fujian province that was burned, not the northern one. Some say both were burned. Truth is, this has been passed down as legend by martial arts schools and secret societies in the south of China, and I remember I was told this story when I learned Tiger Crane style as a teenager and never questioned it. There isn't much historical record of any of it, but we will try to give you a version that makes sense. Alright, let's get back to the story. So, the five elders were, and I'm going to say them in Mandarin because I'll butcher the names if I do it in Cantonese. Zhishan, Wu Mei, Bai Mei, Feng Gaode, and Liao Xi. Now, the most famous of the five elders in pop culture is probably Bai Mei, or Pai Mei as they called him in Kill Bill. But he was also
Time
portrayed many
it.
times in different Chinese kung fu movies, and he is normally the villain, and you're going to understand why as you hear the rest of the story. Then we have Wu Mei, who is the Shaolin nun who taught kung fu to Yan Yongchun, or Yin Wing Chun in Cantonese, and that gave birth to the Wing Chun style. This supposedly happened because Yongchun was being harassed by a man who wanted to marry her, and in the end she challenged him to a fight in order to get out of the marriage. She won the fight and kept her freedom. Wing Chun became popular in southern China and was passed down to Ip Man, or Ye Wen in Mandarin, who was Bruce Lee's teacher and the hero of the very popular Ip Man movies with Donnie Yen. It's a style so powerful it can defeat Mike Tyson. In reality, it really depends on the practitioner, not just the style, as we've seen with MMA fighter Xu Xiaodong challenging many traditional Chinese masters, including one Wing Chun master, and winning. Well, the fight was judged as a draw, but everyone knows that's not true. But let's now move on to the remaining elders. But before we do, guys, I love to drink coffee, especially when I'm
Come
recording
on.
threads for my videos and who then went on to attack the southern Shaolin Temple, with Bai Mei himself killing the abbot Zhishan, one of the other five elders, by breaking his neck. In some versions of the story, Bai Mei was then challenged by Miao Xian, who was killed, and then finally by Feng Gaode, who prevailed, killing Bai Mei. Then in some other versions, it was Feng Gaode who conspired with Bai Mei to burn down the southern Shaolin Temple. But basically, Bai Mei is portrayed as a traitor to Shaolin, or at best, someone who faced a choice between him and his students all being killed and him betraying Shaolin, and he chose to betray Shaolin. So the story is kind of muddled up, with loads of different versions being passed down in different lineages, because after the alleged burning of the southern Shaolin Temple, the kung fu styles in the south were passed down through families and secret societies, such as the T.B.E, or Heaven and Earth Society. This then
Alright,
spread
let's do
and
this.
branched off into other secret groups, such as the haHA, the Three Harmonies Society, and this is often translated as the triads, as in the Chinese
I'm
organized
ready.
crime syndicates that are common throughout Hong Kong and South China. So when you're keeping things a secret, of course,
Top
you have
line.
the imperial forces that may want to kill you, and passing them down might work out. Many
and the two may have traveled together to Guangdong province. These southern styles then gave rise to heroes such as Feng Saiyuk, or in Mandarin, Feng Shiyu. He was apparently the grandson of one of the five elders, Miao Xian, although we're not really sure whether he's fictional.
Different maps,
He was played by Jet Li in a movie of the same name. And then, of course, we have Wang Fei Heng, or
Okay.
Wang Fei Heng in Mandarin,
Hello.
played by Jet Li.
Okay.
And that, guys,
My
is the
stomach
story of the
is
Five Elders. Basically, the
up.
founding fathers, one founding mother, of all of the southern styles of Kung Fu. They were real characters from history, but they have been in so
Hey,
many
you call me
novels
Jack 10?
and
What are you
movies
calling me
that the
names,
line
y'all?
between fact and fiction is now kind of blurred. If you want to hear the story of another group of masters, the 10 Tigers of Canton, one of those was Feng Fei Hong's father, do hit the like button. If this video gets a load of likes, we'll do it. Also, don't forget to get yourself some Days coffee with a 15% discount using my code Learn Chinese Now.
Settings.
We ship to the US and Canada.
Okay,
You can do that through the link
here.
below. Also, do check out our new channel,
I got
Secrets of Ancients. I'll put
movement,
a link to it on
targeting,
screen now. We're covering, ancient mysteries, but
movement,
not just
jumpers
about China,
X,
about
winner
all different
bump,
cultures of the world. So do check it out if
second
you're interested.
hold,
Subscribe here if you're new. We'll see
weapon
you next
I
time.
one,
Bye
bounce
bye.
for no, on the no.
Precision technique, incredible acrobatics, and deadly
Oh,
consequences. China has a long history of martial arts masters practicing a rich variety of styles that have brought honor to the Chinese people and justice to society.
My fist hungers for justice.
come on, bro.
Justice. In this video, I want to go through 5 great Kung Fu masters from Chinese history. And no, in case you're wondering, Bruce Lee is not one of them.
Right here, baby.
Although Lee was instrumental in popularizing Kung Fu in the West and possessed great abilities, his martial arts were a mixture of Wing Chun that he learned from his teacher Yip Man, or Ye Wen in Mandarin,
Wing
plus
Chun.
influences from Western boxing, jiu-jitsu, and even fencing. It's not that we don't want to show Bruce Lee the respect he deserves, but in this video we want to go deeper into masters of traditional Chinese arts that have a long history and established lineage. This is 5 great Kung Fu masters from Chinese history. Alright guys, first up we have Wang Lang. He was believed to be born in either the Song Dynasty or the late Ming Dynasty. And yeah, I know those two periods are 700 years apart. But guys, this is a Chinese legend, alright? Stay with us. The Song Dynasty legend about Wang Lang is that he was one of
I'm not
the
hearing the fucking
masters
sound,
invited
bro.
to improve
I'm
the
turning it
art
off
of
low.
Shaolin, and all of this knowledge was recorded in a Kung Fu manual called Mi Shou, or Secret Hands. This
Yeah, this
book
is
was
all. Yeah.
the legend about Wang
I
Lang
can't
is
hear
that
you.
he lost a kung fu match to another master and was resting under a
Oh,
tree when
my.
he saw a mantis fighting a cicada. He then took several praying mantises, or is it manti? Praying manti, is that the plural?
Well, since owning a Lexus, it's amazing the number of Lexi you see around. Because that's the plural.
Whatever. He took these praying manti back to the Shaolin Temple and observed their movements and created a whole style based on the moves and tactics of the mantis. From the basic hand position to the way it hooks, draws in,
Well,
and
man, I
travels into
wasn't
frame.
doing
The
that
mantis
shit.
style
Like,
has
what a
gone on
shut
to become one of
up!
the most iconic
Hello,
styles
hello,
of
hello.
Chinese Kung Fu, portrayed in movies
Can't
such
hear
as The
nothing,
Shaolin
man.
Mantis and my personal favorite, The Thundering Mantis. After Wan Lang created the mantis style, he went on to win many fights using the style and a legend.
Hello, hello, hello.
Alright guys, let's move on to our second great Kung Fu master from China.